Hello, everyone. Thank you for taking this opportunity to be with me and to listen for a few minutes to this homily that I'm going to be offering. I want to thank you. It's been a really difficult week for us in Canada, all across the country. Churches and businesses have been closing, and it is the same for Central United Church. I'm Linda Hunter. I'm the minister there, and the church is now officially closed. And we don't know for how long. We don't know much into the future. We live it kind of day by day as we listen to health officials and government officials telling us what we can and cannot do. So I'm recording this in my dining room. I'm here at home trying to stay away from that virus. Both my husband and I in this past week have had surgeries. I had a cataract surgery, and so it's really important for us to kind of isolate. But that's hard. It makes it difficult because we are social creatures and certainly want to be in contact and connect with one another. And I hope by providing you with this short video and homily that, well, we can connect to one another and to give each other strength for the journey. I wanted to talk about today, which is part of, for Sunday, some of the lectionary readings. And the lectionary reading that I'm referring to is from Exodus chapter 12, verses 1 to 14. And it speaks about Moses and the Israelite people moving out of slavery in Egypt into a new life in the Promised Land. However, there's a small little period of time in which, well, quite frankly, they're in the desert for 40 years wandering about until they finally get to the Promised Land. It's a tough time for folks. And we sometimes wonder if these ancient stories from an ancient text have any meaning for us today. Well, I think this one has a particular meaning for us. It feels for us when we see the things that we count on in our world, the things that we just do automatically without even thinking about it. Suddenly we have to think about it. The only places that we can go shopping, for example, generally are grocery stores and pharmacies. Oh yes, and we can fill our cars with gas. But other than that, we're asked to stay at home and wash our hands and keep our distance from other people. That can feel like a desert. We can feel like we're so disconnected and that we're alone in all of this. So this particular text from the book of Exodus, which is in the Hebrew Scriptures, tells us of a people who were going through, they weren't fighting the coronavirus, but they were in a hostile place and they were afraid for their lives and wondering how they would survive. I think that's true for us too. We cannot know what the days ahead can hold, and each day when we turn on our television, there is more news that the numbers that are increasing and all of these things that come to us. I guess for the folks, the Israelite folks who were wandering around in the desert, Moses helped them to have hope in the sense that God was steadfast, God was faithful, God was always with them through both the good times and the bad. God fed them manna in the desert. God provided water, and they survived. I'm so very, very grateful, having just been in a place where medical people were working on my cataract, on Gord, on his particular condition, to see the dedication and the determination on the part of those frontline workers to take care of us. They were relentless in their efforts to keep us safe. And so many others as well, beyond our medical staff, the people that are trucking goods across the border, the people who are keeping essential services like firefighters and police officers. These folks are putting themselves at risk for us. I like to think of them rather as instruments of God, keeping us safe. And a reminder that our God is faithful, that our God is steadfast, that our God loves us. And to remind us too that as a society, we can work together on these things. That I'm really heartened by the fact that at the federal government level, all the parties in that House of Commons are working together to come up with solutions and help for Canadians. That, to me, is a strong indicator of how powerful it can be when we work together in community, and that a community does care for each other, for each individual in that community, and that all are kept safe and healthy. So in the days ahead, which are unsettled and uncertain for us, and on those days especially when we feel like we're wandering in a desert, and when will it come to an end? Let us look to our God who loves us and cares for us. Let us look to each other, perhaps a phone call or dropping a card to someone that you know is feeling lonely, or perhaps some food at a doorstep. Even though you can't go in, perhaps you can offer that gift of love. Through all these things, both big and small, we are able to move through this desert time and into a different way of being in the days ahead. May you be richly blessed in your time. May you be kept safe. May you keep well and healthy. That is our prayer here at Central for all of our folks, and for anyone and all the folks in our society and our community. God bless you all.